Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Band Journals, and in this video I am going to prepare these boxes to turn them into journal covers. So this is a great method to upcycle or recycle food packaging that you would normally, just throw out and turn them into beautiful journal covers like these. So this is a boho journal cover that I have created. And I had that floral one here with some lace down the spine. That was made out of a box as well. So you can see you can really transform a plain, simple box and turn it into something beautiful. Here I also have a purple floral example. That one isn't turned into a journal yet, although I filmed this a very long time ago, so that journal is already made and is already with its new owner. So yes, these are a look at the different boxes that I have. I really like the size of these ones in particular, of the pasta boxes. They're a really nice size, the Tuna Mornay ones especially. Not too big, not too small. The spine isn't too wide. I find a lot of biscuit boxes are a great size as well, except for the spine. The spine is just way too massive, and that's great if you want like a big chunky journal with lots and lots of signatures. But for my personal journals, I don't want too many pages because then it becomes just too heavy and too bulky and not fun to use anymore. So yeah, I really like the sort of more narrower spines that you can get at least 3 signatures in. I think 3 to 5 signatures is nice. Any more than that and it gets just too heavy, too bulky for my personal journaling anyway. So yeah, these are the ones that I keep. And basically you just open it up and then cut off all of those edges. So it's just a very simple process really. If you've never used a box to make a cover, I definitely recommend giving it a go. It's very simple, not intimidating at all. Literally just open it up and cut off the edges and you pretty much have the cover right there and then done. So if you're thinking that you would love to make your own journal, you've never made one before, you don't know how, and you're thinking, oh, you have to make your own cover from scratch. No, you don't. You can really upcycle any box at all. Big, small, whatever. I know some people use cereal boxes, so they're quite large. If you want a really big journal, of course you can cut it down as well. So if it's a really big box, you can make it smaller. Or if you like mini journals, you can cut up these smaller. I had a soup box. I think I showed that in this video at the start, if I can get my words out. And I have made a journal out of the soup box before. I found it a little bit too small. In fact, I have made a whole bunch of soup box journals before. They're quite fun, but a bit too small for my liking. I tend to like larger size journals. And so to cover up the design on the front, I don't want that peeking through. If you have a really thick fabric that you're going to use, or if you're going to use scrapbook paper or some sort of decorative paper that won't show through to what's on the cardboard box, you don't have to do this step because obviously you can just cover it with whatever you're covering it with. But because I use fabric, I'm using turning these journals into fabric cover journals. Some of my fabrics aren't thick enough that you won't be able to see through. Or there might be like a light fabric so you can kind of see through it a little bit. So all I do to solve that problem is glue on some white paper. And yes, you can still see a little bit through, a bit of ghosting, is that what they call it? But once you add the fabric on top of the white paper, then between the two of them, you can't see through to, what's on the box. So I'm just covering this up with a Bostik glue stick and then adding my fabric. I don't use clear craft glue just because I might want to sew this later. So if I want to sew around the edges using my sewing machine, if I use clear craft glue, I just have to make sure, I can do it, I can still use clear craft glue, I just have to make sure it's very thin, like applied very thinly. Otherwise it might jam my needle or break my needle in the sewing machine. So using a thin layer of like a glue stick, that's not going to be any problem for my sewing machine to get through. So I just have a little bit of extra here that I needed to fill in that little gap. So I just cut off a strip of white paper. It's just 80 GSM, plain white copy paper. And that also gives the bonus of adding, a little bit of extra sturdiness to the cover as well. And the great thing is with this box, it's white on the inside, so that's perfect. Don't need to cover up the white on the inside. Some boxes are brown on the inside, like kind of that craft cardboard color. And sometimes if I have a thinner fabric that I'm going to use, or a lighter fabric that I'll use on the inside cover, I might also cover up the inside with some white paper as well. But usually what I've been doing recently is I'll use fabric on the outside of the cover, and on the inside I use a vintage ledger page to decorate the inside cover. I really love that combination of fabric, like a floral fabric and a vintage ledger paper, because my favorite theme for journals is floral and vintage. So combining that on the cover, it's, a match made in heaven for me, because it's got my two favorite things, florals and vintage, represented on the cover. And then therefore that sets the tone for the rest of the journal in terms of, the pages that I add, the embellishments, the ephemera. The cover is already floral and vintage, so the pages and ephemera is going to match that vibe of floral and vintage. So coming along here to another cover, just cutting along that edge to open it up. Sometimes you don't need to cut it. You can just open it, tear apart the glue yourself with your hands. But yeah, just find the edge that has the crease. Find the edge that has the part where it overlaps. So then you can have a nice, clean, smooth edge for the hinge, for the spine. And just trimming off those little flaps to give you the beautiful ready-made cover. Such a wonderful way to make a journal. It's one of my favorite ways. Obviously the paper bag is one of my favorite methods, sort of my signature style it's become. Envelopes are a great way as well. Of course, I love using book covers to make journal covers too, but my other go-to method is the box method. Another method that I really enjoy is making my own covers from scratch using chipboard. But that was probably the most labor intensive one, where you full on, constructing every part of it yourself. This is more, less intimidating, more simple to do, quicker. So yes, hopefully you keep your boxes and you can look at them with new eyes and can see the possibilities, see the potential of what that can become, and you can really transform that into anything. I mean, you can choose, once you've made your cover, got it prepared, you can decorate it however you want, and you can make a steampunk journal, you can make for me, I love making my French journals. You can make a boho journal like I showed earlier. You can make a sewing theme journal. You can make any theme journal once you have your cover. So yeah, I just spent this wonderful afternoon or evening preparing all my covers. I do everything in bulk. I don't tend to make a whole journal from start to finish in one go. Well, I do sometimes, but my general mode tends to be more production line, and I will make prepare all the covers in one session, then I will decorate them in a different session, then I'll get the pages ready in a different section, then the ephemera, then I'll do the binding, and I'll do it all in kind of stages like that. So yeah, I had a lot of covers to prepare, and yeah, they're all ready to go. So they are sitting on my shelf. It's a Raskog trolley. So basically with my Raskog trolley, I have 3 tiers. The bottom tier is all my finished journals for my shop. The middle tier is all my unfinished projects. So that's where all my covers are sitting. And the top tier has my personal journals, like my journals that I actually use myself. So I really like that sort of 3-tier system of my Raskog trolley, because again, it kind of shows the production line. Finished journals, unfinished journals, personal journals to write in. So again, just covering any little gaps here with an extra bit of paper, and then trimming off the excess around the edges. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to decorate these covers yet. I don't know what theme I'm going to go with yet. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do fabric on the outside, vintage ledger in the inside. I was just thinking another idea is you could use book page or vintage music paper to cover your cover. And that way you probably wouldn't need to add the white paper either, because you wouldn't see through it unless you have like really thin pages. You could also, once you have your base prepared, do a collage cover. So, get a mixture of whatever papers you like. For me, it's vintage book pages and vintage music paper, and maybe some florals and illustrations and maybe some pattern papers, and do like a bit of a patchwork. You could even, for me, I've been thinking of cutting up my doilies or some of my doilies with my embroidered linens and doing like a patchwork linen cover on top of this prepared base. But yeah, the whole idea is that once you have your base, you really can decorate it however you want, and you can make whatever cover you want using whatever materials you want. So I just want to give you a few different ideas of ways you could decorate it, but sky's the limit. And that's what I love is, it just seems like a humble box, and once you prepare it, it's like just a humble, plain journal cover ready to go, but it's a blank canvas that to me is just magical. And yeah, you can do whatever you want to that blank canvas of a cover. So yeah, I've got about 6 of them on my second tier of my Rascog trolley ready to go. And yeah, like I said, have no idea what I'm going to do with them yet. I've still got a whole bunch of other unfinished projects that I want to do first. But when inspiration strikes, I'm sure I'll pull out those 6 covers and figure out what I'm going to do. Whether I make some linen journals with them, or some basic floral ones, or maybe some boho ones, maybe some collage ones. I don't know. Who knows? I'll find out when I go to sit down to do that. But yeah, let me know if you also like making journals out of boxes, or if you are going to give it a go. And if you do, feel free to, tag me on Instagram or share it in the Facebook page for Willowbound Journals, the Facebook group, so I can check out what you have made. Always love seeing what you guys are making, and if any of my videos have inspired you or helped you to make your own journals, then that's awesome. Love that. And it's so cool that, we can all have the same base, start with the same base, but we could all have totally different journals depending on how you decorate your cover and how you fill it up. And everyone has their own unique style. And yeah, I love that whatever we make reflects, our own creativity. And so fun that you can do that with a journal base. So yeah, have fun making your own journal covers. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.
Special thank you to my beautiful patrons who are supporting me in May. I could not do this without you, so thank you so much for believing in what I do and for all your amazing support and encouragement and kindness. I so appreciate it. If you'd like to become a patron, that's where you get access to all my extra videos, behind the scenes looks, videos of my face where I chat to you, and the journal making series from start to finish each month. If you're a Ruby patron or higher, you also get access to every digital kit in my Etsy, and new ones each month. And some of the higher tiers, you get mail sent to you, perhaps a journal or a mystery pack or a paper pack or ephemera pack or a printable pack. So if any of that interests you, feel free to check out my Patreon. The link is down below. If you'd like to become a member as well, a YouTube member, you can do that for $1 a month, and that just supports my channel.